Let's see the CSGO thing. I've not seen this CSGO thing. I'm going to be real. So this is fresh to me. See, I changed the scene. Did the thing. Sure did. This is Dead Island. This is not Counter-Strike. Sorry. That was a different thing.
With over 20 years of history, maps are a fundamental pillar of Counter-Strike. And in Counter-Strike 2, maps are getting a new look. But don't worry, you can still bring along your countless hours honing strategies and exploiting every corner and crevice. We took 3 approaches to improving maps while retaining their rich legacy. First, there are touchstone maps. Classic maps with solid foundations that players can use to evaluate gameplay changes from CSGO to Counter-Strike 2. These have improvements to lighting and character read, but otherwise haven't been changed. Next, we have upgrades. These are maps that use new Source 2 lighting, including a physically based rendering system that produces realistic materials, lighting, and reflections. And finally, overhauls. The oldest maps have been fully rebuilt from the ground up, leveraging all of the Source 2 tools and rendering features. These tools will be available for community map makers to make it easier to build, experiment, and iterate. With upgrades to lighting, player read, and materials in Counter-Strike 2, even the familiar will feel brand new.
Huh, interesting. One cool thing, yeah, you guys are noting the smoke. I think what I saw was he deployed smoke, and then at one point they blow the smoke away. See, like the bullets go through the smoke and clear it out. Yeah, so look at this. See, boop. He starts shooting, and the bullets actually clear away the smoke. That's pretty cool. It's a video about just the smoke. Responsive smoke.
In a Counter-Strike match, information can mean the difference between success or failure. As a result, smoke grenades have become a cornerstone of team tactics. With Counter-Strike 2's new game engine, we've evolved smokes and made them dynamic. Smoke grenades now create volumetric 3D objects that live in the world. Now, not only do all players see the same smoke regardless of position, but the smoke can interact with the environment in interesting ways. It reacts to lighting, grows to fill spaces naturally. The shape of the smoke cloud can be pushed and carved by bullets and grenades. In Counter-Strike 2, smoke grenades provide even more tactical opportunities. They're just going to look and play better.
See, it's actual gameplay innovation. This is why, like, I can kind of sympathize with people who feel very disenfranchised in the gaming space, because it feels like everything that comes out today is just more of the same. But little things like this, I would consider gameplay innovation. In the same way, like what the finals is doing with destructible environments for PvP gameplay. Super cool. And this little stuff, these little changes can actually improve the gameplay experience, and it's great. Such a great idea. It changes the smoke dynamics entirely. Yeah, no, it makes smoke something that increases the dynamism of gameplay instead of just being kind of an annoyance. Of like, okay, now you can't see through here. Wait till it dissipates. But now, like, okay, if I throw the smoke and I shoot through the smoke, it's going to create a little opening that reveals my position, you know, and that little change, that one consideration, like you saw in some of these clips where they are now having to like pivot whenever they shoot through the smoke because it reveals their position. That little stuff can really add up and make a change, make a big difference. Just like Battlefield Bad Company changed how destruction was handled. Yeah. Like now you might need to save your nade smoke or nade to combat smokes when you need to. Yeah. There's a tick rate revolution or revolution something or other.
Counter-Strike is known for its visceral and satisfying gunplay. Now, firing a weapon looks pretty simple. You click your mouse, your character shoots, your target takes damage. But there's a lot more happening behind the scenes. In previous versions of Counter-Strike, the game only evaluated moving and shooting in discrete time intervals, or ticks, and time between those ticks didn't exist. For the most part, the experience was seamless. But sometimes those milliseconds between click and tick could be the difference between landing or missing your shot. That's why with Counter-Strike 2, we're introducing sub-tick updates. Now the tick rate no longer matters for moving and shooting, so the server will know the exact moment you fired your shot, jumped your jump, or peeked your peek, and the server will calculate your precise actions between ticks. So what you see is what you get.
And then they just show the same ending gameplay over and over again. I don't really, so sub-ticks?
Moving and shooting in discrete time intervals, or ticks, and time between those ticks didn't exist. For the most part, the experience was seamless, but sometimes those milliseconds between click and tick could be the difference between landing or missing your shot. That's why with Counter-Strike 2, we're introducing sub-tick updates. Now the tick rate no longer matters for moving and shooting, so the server will know the exact moment you fired your shot, jumped your jump, or peeked your peek.
Okay. So, correct me if I'm wrong in this chat, but my understanding of what they're describing is like, if this is like the time interval, if this is the time interval, and then we had like, you know, these are the ticks where it's pinging the server and this is when the server's checking. Previously, if you performed an action here, the server would only register it at this time point. So it's basically collecting all of the info and all of the events in here, and all of that from that one action gets timed basically as if it happened right here, which is still like many, many times a second. But now what they're saying is each action instead will be on a continuum, basically time stamped. So when you perform an action here, the server is still ticking at these intervals, but when it ticks, it can now understand that this action was performed here. And so it can keep it there, and it doesn't pull it forward, but rather as it's collecting here, it can retroactively go, okay, this happened back here, and that's how we need to treat it. Asynchronous ticks for critical player inputs. Yeah. Probably for like movement, I don't know if they do this for movement. For shooting, like your left click action buttons and stuff, this really does matter because it is the difference between shooting and landing your shot and not. But this, I mean, for competitive players, this is a big deal. I mean, this is something that would actually make a difference. They said peeking and jumping too. I mean, I guess if your head moves over the course of a tenth of a second, a certain distance, that could actually make a difference. So now streamers can't blame hit reg. Yeah, no, for real. I mean, that's pretty cool. But like these little changes actually make a difference. And that's what's refreshing is it's like, you know, I think it bucks the trend or the impression that a lot of these big developers have, which is that players only really care about the graphics. Players only care if the thing looks cool. And that's not really the case. Like one of the reasons I've been kind of frustrated with the finals and why I kind of stopped playing it for a bit after playing it a good amount for a while, was because the stuff that they were showing off in the trailers looks badass. Like, this stuff looks really, really cool. But when you're actually playing the game, it doesn't usually feel like this. Let's be completely honest. Usually it feels much more, I don't know how to describe it other than just saying like floaty. It feels floaty. Every one of your actions is slightly behind when you feel like it should be. If we're using the tick rate example, I don't know if it's related to tick rates, but it feels like there, instead of there's all these tick rates, it feels like rather there's like 1, 2. So it doesn't matter when you perform actions all along here, it's all getting looped forward to this point. So it's like, it looks pretty, but it doesn't feel tight. You know, it just doesn't feel where it needs to be. And, you know, that's probably an artifact of them pushing for higher graphical fidelity, which makes the game look really, really good in trailers like this. But when you're playing it, it makes it a little bit frustrating because you're like, I feel like these guns aren't as responsive as they should be. You know, it can actively frustrate you. If you've ever been shot around a corner because of tick/netcode latency or lag latency BS, this can be huge. Now you'll know maybe if it's this good IRL. I mean, I will agree. We were playing Valorant, I think, last week or 2 weeks ago. And there was an occasion where, like, straight up, I was around a corner and, like, they had shot. And it straight up, like, it must have been my hand that they shot, but the kill cam thing registered it and said it was like a chest shot or something, and my chest was definitely behind cover. I also just need to get good at Valorant because I suck, but still, little stuff like that. Here's someone that played at Valve under NDA that has some additional info. Oh.
Clip this one, okay, because I'm really happy right now. I asked the CSGO devs, am I allowed to talk about it finally? Because yes. And yes, I am now allowed to talk about Counter-Strike 2 and Source 2. And I was under NDA this whole time. And I hated it, and it was the worst feeling of my entire life, and I feel like an entire weight has been lifted from my shoulders. And I'm sorry that I couldn't tell people, okay? I am sorry. And I asked the devs and I said, wait, what? He says, yeah, the devs said, talk about it, nerds. Quote me on that. So, all right. Was it good or bad? It was, I don't even know how to describe to you. Like, it was insane. Okay.
Holy crap, dude. Are these his all-time donations? Glowstick has donated to him $18,000. Wow. That's crazy. Like, these donations, these are great. And like, you donate $10 a stream or $20 a stream, I can see how it adds up, but wow.
Oh, I don't want to tell you guys some things because some things like you're gonna see them and I want you guys to like, there's something that you don't know. You have legs, chat. Unless they removed them, there's legs. Wait, the devs said, can you calm down and just talk? Sorry, I'm really excited, you motherfucker. The devs are griefing me. We have legs, chat. We have legs, okay? You fucking get in the game, you look down, and they're right there, dude. You're like, holy shit, I have legs. It's insane. Like, I never thought I'd be so excited for legs, but yeah, we got legs. So yeah, now that the devs are griefing me, do you guys want to know who was all in it? It was me, Get Right, Forrest, Machine, Harry, Hugo, Sponge, Moses, and then 2 people that play matchmaking with one of the devs. And when we got there, there was probably like the amount of devs that you expected, right? There was like probably like 5 to 10-ish that were like, we'll just say the core guys that were like introducing us, like showing us around, just the ones that we met. But they were like, don't be alarmed when you guys are doing the 10-mans. More people are going to come through. I think there were like 30 to 40 people that rolled through that conference room at different times, just sitting down, watching and like taking notes of everything. And it was sick because like when we had problems, like I didn't
Yeah, I don't know a single name either. But it just goes to show you like how segmented communities can be. Like in a good way, not in a bad way, but like, you know, people who are really into CS:GO are really into CS:GO and only know CS:GO stuff. Thank you, Cow. Thank you, Mr. Cow. So it's just very niche. I mean, it's a niche, but it's a very tight niche. You know, they all know who they're talking about, or who he's talking about. Even if we don't.
have to like go to somebody. Like I had an
Chrissy knows every name and Divium. Okay. Well, maybe I'm just a boomer then.
audio issue, and literally the person that designed the whole audio profile was sitting right behind me and said, "Can I listen?" And then she like picked up my headset, listened, like figured out all the It was sick. It was really cool. It was an unreal experience. Oh, the menu looks different. It was actually
That is actually cool. When I did the preview event for
Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
one of their like head IT guys that was working on like the technical optimization for the game was in there, and we ran into it wasn't AC Valhalla. Sorry, it was Far Cry 6. We did a preview event for Far Cry 6, and like the technical lead on the game came in because I was supposed to do a co-op mission with somebody, and the assassin or the guy I was playing co-op with, he couldn't connect to our session. And so he came in and then they took notes and he was letting off like all sorts of jibber jabber about the tech side of it. And, you know, the server ping isn't synced up. So he's connecting to this and we have to put him in the subnet, and, you know, he's going whatever crap. Didn't understand a word of it. And then he did a bunch of stuff. He's like, okay, give me like 2 minutes. Went out for 2 minutes, and I kid you not, within 2 minutes, it was fixed. He got the guy in. It was kind of crazy. But yeah, it's always cool when you're talking and hanging out with these people and they really know what they're talking about. It's pretty cool.
pretty sick. So like when you invite your friends, like you're all 5 lined up together, kind of like walking in the lobby together. Similar. It looks really nice. The first day we played, the sound was like really messed up, but to kind of give you like perspective for all the people that are like, nobody works on the game, nobody does anything, we play tested for close to 10 hours the first day. They redid the entire audio engine overnight. After we had play tested for 10 hours, they literally loaded up an entire new engine or a new version of the engine the next day we came in, and it was completely different based off of all of our feedback, and it was completely changed. Also, to kind of give you guys like some perspective on how hard they were going, we asked to stay an extra day and they allowed us. So, and a few of the devs basically babysat us. And one of the devs, I'm not going to name names, but the person responsible for the model, we had some issues with the models because they were like, they're so accurate that they kind of have momentum now, chat. So like when you're moving a lot, when you're moving, your body shows that, but it was a bit too much like when people were peeking you, so it'd kind of freak you the fuck out. So I shit you not, from our feedback on Thursday to Saturday morning, this dev created an entire new profile for all the models and changed everything. They changed the whole model for us in 2 days, and it had a completely new set of movements where basically it solidified the center of the chest so there wasn't as much movement. So they were, dude, the devs, I know they don't talk to everybody as much as like you want them to, but like they go hard, man. They go hard. They really did like everything we said, like everything that they were like listening to us. There was no like, that's stupid. It was just like, yeah, he literally showed all of us, all 10 of us. He showed the old model and then the new model side by side and showed every little aspect that he changed. It was sick. It was so cool.
That's pretty baller. You gotta love when they take feedback. Like the devs are saying, listen, you guys play this game a lot. You probably know what you're talking about. And after all, like they have to make these guys into the game. They have to sell these people, because if this guy's sold on it, his audience is way more likely to be sold on it. And like his audience, very committed to CSGO stuff. So of course it's going to make a big difference. So I'm glad that they're focusing on that.
He took my thing.